We're back on this Ford Focus now. 2 weeks ago, we determined that it was running rough because it had low compression, especially on cylinder number 4. Now you haven't seen it yet, but I removed the cylinder head and I sent it off to the machine shop. About 2 weeks later, that head came back and I installed it. We're gonna go to 11 foot-pounds. This is stage 2. And then I tested it. You can see I've got about 45% leak down or so. And it's coming from back here. Just blowing that thing up like a balloon. So I had to remove the head again, which means those brand new bolts and head gasket went right in the trash can. That kind of sucks, but it's what you gotta do. So I sent the head back out and they promised to get to it really quickly and determine what the problem was. All right, we got the head back and it's only been 2 days. That shop is normally out about 2 or 3 weeks, so they definitely put a rush on it and I'm really grateful for that. Now I talked to the owner and I asked him about what the problem was. He said it was in the valve seat. What he thinks happened was that the stone was dressed a little bit too rough and that left a rough surface on the valve seat and there was a leak path created there. So what they did was they took it back apart and they lapped it in with lapping compound to make 100% sure that there is a good seal on that valve. Now he also supplied me with a brand new head gasket and head bolts to take care of the ones that were damaged after installing it the first time. So I'm really glad that he was able to stand behind his work. Hashtag respect. All right, I'm gonna set it down on these dowels and that'll help me guide it in. Just like that. And we're gonna go all the way to the bottom, but no ugga-duggas. All right, let's have a look at number 1 here. I'm gonna continue to cover my rear because I don't want to put the rest of the engine together only to find out that I've got a problem here with some compression. It's better than it was. We're at about 65%. Put it back on the exhaust port. See it blowing up that glove? Let's try the rest of them here. That's much better. It's what I wanted to see. It's closer to 90. 10% leak down is okay here. Okay, 3 looks good. All right, number 4 is really good. Just got off the phone with the machine shop. They just asked me to put some tape back here on this exhaust port to see if there's any other possible leaks coming from anywhere else, just so we have a really good idea of what we're looking at here. And I said that would be fine because I don't want to take this head off again for no reason. So that ought to seal it up. Let's go ahead and put a little bit of air pressure in there, but not enough to blow that tape off. We're gonna start low at 20, 30 pounds, something like that, and we'll build it up if we need to. I feel a little bit here at the intake. Let me tape that off. Not really changing much here. So what I think I'll do is I'm gonna put some smoke in there. I want to see, I don't know, I just want to see what I see. It's definitely pumping. All right, so all I can see that smoke right there? That's coming out from right down there where the oil pan is. This front cover is off, so I guess that's the first escape path for that smoke. It's not even gonna make it up to the top of this head here. I don't see anything up here. Let me go ahead and remove the tape on the intake. See if anything comes out of there. We're gonna undo this exhaust tape and see what that looks like. Lots of smoke coming out of there. You can see that. I just got off the phone with the machine shop and I was speaking with the owner there. He is very receptive to what I have to say. I gave him the results of the test that we ran, the leak down test and the smoke test. And he's in agreement with me that there's nothing that I could have done to cause that problem or to make the problem worse or anything like that. Now he's given me the go-ahead to remove that cylinder head and bring it back to his shop. Now I'm also gonna bring the bolts and a head gasket because he has a block just like this one here in his shop, and he can put the head on it and then he can do a pressure test just like I did so he can see what was going on. He said also that he was going to try a dye test to see if there's cracks in the casting or anything like that. Maybe it's not just the valve, maybe it's something bigger. Hopefully not, fingers crossed. He did say that they bench test all of their heads after machining to make sure that they hold vacuum, and he did with this one also. 30 inches of vacuum, and it passed that test with flying colors. It's really amazing that this thing is leaking here on the car, but that's what's going on. So what have we learned today, and what's the point of this video? I think it's CYA, because a lot of parts can come from machine shops or from part stores, brand new or newly machined with problems, and if you don't test them before you send that car out, you could be blamed for a problem that wasn't your fault. Comebacks happen, and that's definitely a part of shop life, but if you can minimize those comebacks by testing the parts before you put them on the car or before you assemble the entire engine and run it, the better off you're going to be, because now I can take this head back to the machine shop and say, look, I didn't even put those cams on there. There's no way I did anything to harm these valves. You got to figure out what the problem is and bring it back to me when it's right. Now, I'm not going to give you the name of the shop that I'm working with because I don't want you to think that I'm beating up on them. Much to the contrary, I'm actually glad that I'm working with this shop because this shop owner stands behind his work, and I have every confidence that he's going to do whatever it takes to get this thing done and bring it back to me right. So maybe that's lesson number 2 here. If you're farming out work like machine shops or alignments, find shops that have good ethics, someone who stands behind their work so that you're not left holding the bag when something goes wrong. And number 3, take advantage of the online community that we're building here on YouTube, specifically Text Talking Shop, which is made up of a number of contributors who are industry experts in auto repair. So I was able to ask a question to the group because I haven't seen a problem like this before, and I got a number of responses back almost immediately, which gave me confidence to know that I hadn't done anything wrong and I should take that head back to the machine shop so that they could repair it. So thank you to Text Talking Shop, link below the like button. Well, that's it. I got to get back to work, pull this head for the 3rd time now, and tomorrow I'll take it back to the machine shop, and I'm confident they'll bring it back to me in 100% working condition, but that leaves me about a week behind. So today you were supposed to be watching the video where I assemble the engine and you could hear that first start. That video is going to come out whenever it comes out, and I'll put a link to it right over here as soon as it's ready. Thanks for watching.